ज्ञानेन आकाशकल्पेन धर्मान् गगनोपमान् ज्ञेया भेदेन सम्बुद्धः तं वन्दे द्विपदाम्बरम्. Before going to today's topic, let me explore two things. One, Abhinavagupta's concept of rasa. Long before they had only 8 rasas discovery. With all these 8 rasas, a rasa means aesthetic sense. Okay. And our early Indian literary critics, they explored the Indian literature in this aesthetic sense point of view, the rasa point of view. They found there are various rasas like Shringara, love, Karunya, compassion, Hasya, joke, fun, Virya, valor, Raudra, rage and violence, Shanta. This is the point, yes. The 9th one is Shanta, is a very important rasa. Abhinavagupta says that the Shanta is white in color. White because of not white superiority or white race should not be taken in that way. White is the base of all colors. Like Vijayar is from basic color. From Shanta rasa, all other rasas emerge. Shringaram means love. Some critics say Shringaram is Rasaraj, king of all rasas. Romantic love is the king of all rasas. Many critics are of this opinion. Even Kalidasa. On the other hand, Bhavabhuti has a different opinion. Karunyam is the greater rasa. Even this great Kalidasa, who is one of the greatest poets of the world, even though he is well known for Shakuntalam, whose theme is Shringaram, if we carefully and closely look at Shakuntalam and for what Shakuntalam is well known, Tatrapicha Chaturthonkaha, in Shakuntalam, the 4th act is the most important act. And this 4th act is the peak of Kalidasa, which is not Shringara but Karunya. In this great Shringara Mahakavyam of Kalidasa, this 4th act is Karunya act. For this Karunyam, Kalidasa became very famous. Okay, leave it. Karunyam is the greatest rasa of the whole world. In this way, there are various viewpoints. You may call Shringaram as Rasaraj, king of all rasas, so many things you may say, but Abhinavagupta's viewpoint goes in this way that even that Shringaram has its base as Shanta. If at all you have something to enjoy in Shringara, then it is Shanta. It is a Shanta which makes Shringara a rasa, love a rasa. Otherwise, Shringara has no place of rasa at all. If at all some rasa is existing in Karunyam, that rasa is Shanta. If at all some rasa is existing in Viryam, that rasa is Shanta. So Shanta takes various forms of rasas to make us enjoy. This is a viewpoint of Abhinav Gupta, well supported by the Kashmiri literary critics like Kalhana of Rajatarangani or Anandavardhana of Dunyaloka. They all talk about it. Of course, this idea emerged from Kashmir. Shantarasa is the base of all rasas. This discovery was done by Kashmiri literary critics. Just I want to share this because we were talking about the Ananda happiness analysis, Ananda Mimamsa of Taittiriya Upanishads. I wish to share this view of Abhinav Gupta too. How literary critics of India considered Shantarasam as the base of all other rasas. Dhwani, while they are talking about Dhwani, Dhwani means, in English it is called as tone. Maybe before some 150 years, the Western world never knew about this tone at all, to my knowledge. They very well knew figures of speech. They thought that figures of speech is the end of a kavya. Kavyam word use pannavam theriyala. Figures of speech is the end of an epic or ballad or any poetry. They were not familiar with tone. Tone idea never struck them. A very great literary critic, T.S. Eliot, in English literature, he only brought the idea of tone, that too after going through the Indian literary criticism, not before that. T.S. Eliot admired India, was very much familiar with India. For example, in his Wasteland, in his book named Wasteland, he talks about the problems found in the Western world. And while bringing the solution, finally, while ending the Wasteland, if you see in T.S. Eliot, he narrates the Brihadaranyaka story, how Devas, Asuras and Manushyas went to Brahmadeva and requested Brahma to teach them Dharma. Then Brahmadeva gave one syllable, Da. This Da became Dhamma for Devas, Da became Dana for humans, Da became Daya for Asuras. T.S. Eliot narrates this story. After narrating this story, he says this Dana, Dhamma and Daya, this is a wonderful solution, and concludes Wasteland as if a Veda mantra is getting concluded. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. One of the best literary critics of English. He brought the idea of tone to English language after becoming familiar with Indian concepts of literary criticism. The idea of Shanti, which is there in the concluding words of Wasteland, that also we need to recollect. So anyhow, the Shanta Rasa, which is Rasa is the base of tone, Shanta Rasa is Rasa, base of Rasa. In this way, all these three are connected. In Abhinav Gupta viewpoint, Shanta Rasa is the Rasa. So with this base, if you see, whatever joy we enjoy in our life, all these things have the base as Chittavritti Nirodha, calming the mind, and expanding, slowing, and nullifying the thoughts, being in the internal peace, learning to be in the internal peace. This internal peace alone can be the core of us, the true joy. This alone can be called as eternity, because whatever comes from the external world has to go away from us. Only me alone can be called as eternal. A great scientist named Sam Harris says, whatever in the world we see can be seen as untrue, can be proven as untrue. But this experience of me cannot be. If at all, only one thing which cannot be proven as untrue in the world is that consciousness. This is what he says. So this base is true. This base is eternal. The Upanishads talk about some eternal joy or eternal delight. This eternal delight is not going on having coffee. If you permanently have coffee, then it is eternity. It cannot happen. Cannot happen, because whatever comes, we need to lose. This is the law of nature. You can't show anything which comes to us will not part from us. Sanyoga viprayogantaha, Rama says. Then if Shastra talks about eternity or eternal bliss, it has to be in me and me alone. It's because I am eternal for myself. At least before death, I understand. From my birth, from my Garbhavasa up to the death, I am here standing for myself. The witness alone is eternal. Okay. So if Shastra talks about eternal joy, and if the eternal joy is true, and then it has to be me. It has to be concerned with me. That's the idea. All these things we need to see while we see in the context of Nishtayasa. I'm talking about all these things. Okay. Next thing. A question was asked, like I have to throw some light on value prioritization. Nowadays in management, they call it as value prioritization. Which dharma is more important than what dharma? Dharma sandigdha comes. Dharma conflicts come. Well, dharma conflicts come, which dharma can be held. Take for example, Ramachandra. The same question was asked by somebody. Rama gave up the kingdom and went to the forest. Many of us are busy with how Rama goes to the forest. Many of us are astounded on seeing his sacrifice. We start to celebrate his sacrifice. That is why we are worshipping him as God up to our times. Such a great, matchless sacrifice. Those are all fine. But while going with that flow, we miss to find out why Rama went to forest. This is a very important question. Why Rama went to forest? What made him to go to the forest? It's not that we don't know answer. Most of us may not have clarity in this answer. Sometimes even the great scholars miss to get the clarity regarding this. Unless we understand why Rama went to forest, we can't appreciate, especially in the postmodern era, Rama's action of giving up the kingdom. Without understanding why Rama went to forest, one may take Rama to be in Tamil, what they call as loose. Okay. I don't know how to translate that in English. He doesn't know how to protect the kingdom. And he gave up because he is unable to safeguard the kingdom. This is his inability. This is his inability. One can see in this point of view. If he doesn't know what Rama is, Rama, as we all know, is a very strong person. And his war we see in Yuddhakanda, in Aranyakanda. He vanquished 14,000 Rakshasas just in 1.5 hours in war. Such kind of powerful person Rama is. He could even win Ravana in battle. Such kind of very powerful person, the best archer of his time, he is called as mightier than Dasharatha, his own father. Ishwasrecha Pitusreshtaha is a better archer than his father, Valmiki says. Dasharatha, compared to Rama, is not as mighty. In fact, in his time, nobody could match him, even Ravana. Such kind of person he was in his archery. Can't he bring the whole kingdom under his control? It is not his inability which made him to go to the forest, point number one. It is not a loss also. He did not lose the kingdom in gambling. The critics who want to show Rama in a negative way, normally somebody like Windy Doniger or some persons like that, they purposefully skip most of the times the Rama's episode of giving up his kingdom. Okay, it is a very inconvenient incident to them. Okay, it's a very inconvenient incident to them. They wish to skip it. They don't much discuss about it. Even recently, a movie came, Adipurush, where you can never see that incident, how Rama gave up kingdom and how Bharata is devoted to Rama. That idea never comes at all. They conveniently skip that idea because it will make the whole epic, it will show the whole epic in a completely different picture. Okay. Then the movie's name cannot be Adi Purush, it has to be Mahapurush or Avatar Purush. Okay. The incident of Ayodhya Kanda, Rama's sacrifice of kingdom, is an inconvenient event for these critics who want to show Rama in a negative light. Anyhow, coming back to the point, the question is, Rama gave up the kingdom. It created inconvenience to his mother. Kausalya is missing Rama for all 14 years. Rama knew that Rama gave up the kingdom and went. If Rama would have stayed in Ayodhya itself, he could have established Ramarajya even long before, without postponing for 14 years. But Rama did not prefer. If Rama would have stayed in Ayodhya, he would have gladdened the people. He would have started his good government even long before 14,000 years, just by ignoring this stupid Kaikai and Mantara. And he could have gladdened Vasishta or Bharata, so on and so forth. All these things would have happened if Rama would have stayed in the kingdom. But without thinking about these things, Rama just gave up the kingdom just because on one fine morning the old father said, "My dear Rama, go to forest." Just to show this value of obedience, Rama went to forest. Is this a wise way of dealing? How he prioritized to this value, discarding other values like gladdening the mother, gladdening his own people, gladdening his own Bharata. He also discarded another value, Dharma, that is convention, conventional Dharma. Conventional Dharma is to offer the kingdom only to the Jeshta Putra, the firstborn. Discarding all these things, holding only obedience to father and stepmother as the greatest value, Rama could go to forest. How this is possible? Why Rama gave such an importance to this obedience? This question can come. When we peripherally look at this Ayodhya Kanda, we may understand Rama gave the greatest importance to this obedience without going through the epic in its depth. If you peripherally look at Ayodhya Kanda or hear Ayodhya Kanda from someone, or by seeing some TV serial or movie like Adipurush, one may conclude that due to obedience, Rama went to the forest. But if you go deeper into the text, then only you understand it's not just obedience for which Rama went to the forest. I don't want to confuse all of you by giving some mystic reason for Ravana Vada, he went to forest and all. Even Valmiki never touches it up to the end of Ayodhya Kanda. Only in the fag end of Ayodhya Kanda in 116th chapter, or just before that even, this idea is brought by Valmiki. Some words hint that there is a master plan, Ravana Vadha. It's a Devarahasyam. That is a celestial plan. There is a mystical reason for Rama's entering into forests. This kind of hints you can see only at the end of Ayodhya Kanda. Ayodhya Kanda has 119 chapters. Up to the 110th chapter, you can never see this idea at all. Because people should not get deviated from the main topic. Topic is very important in a kavya. And theme is more important. And rasa too is very important. So Valmiki is writing a kavya. First of all, we need to understand it. Kavya has its own status. Kavya has its own grandeur. You can't suddenly bring so many things and confuse the people. So, in this 110 chapters of Ayodhya Kanda, Valmiki is very serious. His focus is very, very, very deep. When we go through it, when we explore the heart of Valmiki, we thoroughly understand Rama went to the forest for Satyam, to keep the word. To keep the word here is not just obedience, to protect the pratigya. Word means pratigya. Pratigya. To safeguard Satyam. This is the idea which you can see throughout the epic, throughout Ayodhya Kanda. Satyam is the hero of Ayodhya Kanda. Shri Anna says in Ramakathamrta Saram, Samvadaihi Bahubihi Swadharma Mahima Saketatanistutaha. In various conversations, Rama makes this Dharma as hero in Ayodhya Kanda. Here this Dharma is Satyam. Several Purvapakshams come. Kausalya cries, you are not taking care of mother. Be obedient to mother and take care of me. Don't go to forest. That is a Purvapaksham. Another Purvapaksham. This is a conspiracy of Kaikeyi. Don't rely on her. Don't obey her words. You just bind me, but just imprison me and become king. King Dasharatha says. Another Purvapaksham. Third Purvapaksham, only if you come and rule, people will get gladdened. Ultimate purpose is to gladden the people. That's prime duty of a king. Therefore, you please come back. Bharata's view. This is third Purvapaksham. Hey, there is called something called as Kula Dharma. Only Jeshtaputra has to be crowned. Vasishta's Purvapaksham. Among all these various Purvapakshas, for all these things, Sri Ramachandra answers. And another funny Purvapaksham is there. Don't hold Dharma at all. Value prioritization comes only when you transgress one value for another value. But I'm going to the base. Value itself is irrelevant. There is no need of thinking about value at all. Give up value and enjoy your life. This is another Purvapaksham presented to Rama by Jabali. Rama takes all these things as Purvapaksham, as Shankaracharya is bringing various Purvapakshas in Siddhanta Grantha and rationally refutes all of them to establish Brahman. Ramachandra takes all these Purvapakshams and refutes one by one, very rationally. Buddhyacha Abhipannaya, very rationally Rama does it. It's not that Rama doesn't know what he does. Unless he doesn't know, he can't have this conviction. His steadfastness. His philosophy or principle is not a principle of convenience. He strongly holds. See, the whole process has to be understood regarding Dharma model. Let us see this in the lens of Dharma model. Case study. In fact, after these sessions, as a homework, we need to go to the house and make a case study of several things. In that, we can take from epics, we can take from our own life, several case studies. This can be a good start. Is what Rama did, was it Dharma? This is a question. Giving up his own kith and kin, giving us his own fellow men in this prime age, instead of performing his duties, being in family and society, going to the forest, is it Dharma? Troubling his wife too. And his brother Lakshmana too. Is it Dharma? The question comes. So now let us see what is Dharma. What is Dharma? Dharma is the elimination of Atra. Okay. And Dharma is that which leads to Abhyudaya or Nishchayasa, or Abhyudaya and Nishchayasa. This is a very debatable point. I am not going into it. So anyhow, Abhyudaya means social welfare, social upliftment. Nishayasa is spiritual welfare. Dharma is any method or action or thought which leads us to Abhyudaya and Nishayasa. If this is the definition, Rama sacrificed his kingdom. Does it contribute in any way the elimination of Atru? Or does it contribute in any way to Abhyudaya or Nishayasa? Then only it can be Dharma. Yes, it definitely contributes. How? It starts with misery, but ends in prolonged joy. Therefore, this comes under the category of Abhyudaya. What is the starting point? Rama's exile is a misery, very great misery, leading to Dasharatha's death further, widowing the mothers, Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. Very great misery. But ending with a prolonged joy, which is that? What is that? Ramarajya. Ramarajya, which was long lasting. So, this comes under Abhyudaya category. You take in the same way, paying attention to the mother, to take care of the mother, to be obedient to mother. If Rama stays in the kingdom, in which category it will come? Okay, Rama stays in kingdom, Rama crowns. Rama gets crowned because Bharata is crying. And Dasharatha himself cries. Therefore, Dasharatha says, "Oh Rama, you imprison me and become king." So, paying attention to Dasharatha, Rama stays there and imprisons Dasharatha and becomes king. Normal, very normal in history. Aurangzeb imprisoned Shah Jahan and became king. Ashoka imprisoned his elder brother and became king. Very normal. That is why Lakshmana suggests, why can't you imprison your father and become king? Nothing abnormal in Lakshmana's words. That is politics. That is politics. In politics, to gain the power, they will do anything. I know persons who killed their own children in politics, in history. I know persons who imprisoned their fathers for the sake of politics, killing the wife. All these nasty things happened. Politics, finished. I would know. Just a simple comment after doing all these things. After committing all these things, just a simple comment. Even gentle persons, whom we call as noble persons, they commit all these crimes entering into politics. Horrible. Take for example, Othello, a noble man, a gentleman, killed his wife. Let me come back to the point. And talking about this politics, Rama could have taken that stand, simply imprisoning his father, he could have become king. Then in which category it will come? Will it come in Nishayasa? No. Can it come in Abhyudaya? Let us analyze. Can it come in Abhyudaya? Yeah. Okay. If Rama would have stayed in the kingdom, it clearly means he has transgressed the word. He has transgressed the pratigya, he has transgressed the truth. Okay. In the earlier days of Ramayana, all transactions were based on pratigya. Transactions, in Sanskrit we call it as vyavahara. Vyavahara in philosophy is different. Vyavahara to Nagarjuna and Shankara is different. I am not going to the topic. I am talking about the Vyavahara found in Smriti texts. The word Vyavahara found in Manusmriti or Chanakya is something different. Actually, originally the word Vyavahara was used only for this. Then only it came to philosophy. Vyavahara means transaction. Can be business transaction. Two meanings Vyavahara has. One, business transaction. Another one, court transactions. In these two Vyavaharas, the base is pratigna. In a court, if somebody stands as a witness or a convict, what first he does is, I am doing pratigna here. I will not lie. With this he starts. Then the whole things happen. Whole analysis happens in the court. In the same way, if somebody is getting a loan in business, he makes a pratigna. In a month, I will repay. In these two things, if somebody transgresses pratigna, then the problem comes. In court, judge will feel difficult to find out who is a real convict, because even in court, people can lie. If people start to lie in the court, then the judge cannot find out who is a real convict. If 10 persons are inquired in the court, among the 10 persons, somewhere some truth will be there. This is the basic belief with which the court is running. Somewhere some truth will be there. And the truth will be predominantly there, because people are by very nature bound to conscience. Truth will be very predominantly there, this idea. With this idea, the court is running. When this convention is broken, when a leader like Rama, a person belonging to the royal family, which is watched by millions of people, if that person breaks pratigna, it will give room for further breaking of pratigna. The common people are watching. This man, after breaking pratigna, became a king. Then people will start to follow it. People will give up pratigna. People will not take seriously this pratigna. People will lose their grip in truth. Then what will happen in the court, also in business, which are the most important thing to run a society? In these two, Vartayam Samsritaha Tata Loko Hisutamedate, Rama's word, in the 100th chapter. Vartayam Samsritaha Tata. In business, the world is happy. Business is the base of happiness. Rama says, very practically he says, Varta means business. Varta also can mean word, because business is based on the truth or word, pratigna and all. When you make the people to get habituated in breaking pratigna, business will fall in due course of time. See, in due course of time, you will be affected. In due course of time, you will be affected in Atra. So, base of business is the word. Base of court is the word. Business is Vaishya Dharma, court is Raja Dharma. In both the places you see this word is the base. Pratigya is the securing, safeguarding. Pratigya is the fundamental thing. If a role model, if an icon belonging to the royal family, which was watched by thousands of people, if that icon is breaking this word, breaking this pratigya, people will start to follow it gradually in their business, in their court, vichara, vyavahara. People will start to lie. People will give up pratigya. That will make all not to follow satyam, and a great chaos will be created in the society. If everybody starts to lie in the court, judge cannot find out who is a true convict. Therefore, sometimes convicts may be released, sometimes innocents may be punished. All this chaos can come. Creating all this chaos, Ramarajya cannot be run. Rama's government cannot come. So to establish Ramarajya, first of all, let me be personally clean. Rame Shasati na Anrutaha, there is no epic ends. In Ramarajya, people were truthful and corruptionless. This could be achieved by Rama only because of his very great sacrifice of kingdom. The troubles he faced by sacrificing the kingdom, by going to exile. With this, so many problems will be created, come what may. Problems like in these 14 years, the old mother is not taken care by Rama. Is one problem. Even father dies is another problem. People were sad by losing Rama. Rama himself faces a lot of troubles. And Sita also faces a lot of troubles. Lakshmana also faces a lot of troubles. But all these things are secondary to Rama. Naiva aham rajyam ichchami na sukham na cha maitrim. Tvam aham satyam ichchami nanratam purushava. In this value prioritization, satyam becomes the greatest value. This is not satyam pratigya of Rama, it's a pratigya of his father. It is not his own pratigya too. Pratigya made by somebody else. Rama is upholding. Rama says, pratigya of my father is more important to me than my own pratigya. Take for example, I have a car. I'm taking care of it. I don't have a car, just I'm telling. I'm taking care of it. But my mentor, some guide, my guide, my guru comes to my house and says, my dear, I'm going to Kashi. I will come back only after a month. Going to Kashi, Ayodhya, then Rameshwaram, all these things. Then I will come back only after a month. Till that, you take care of this car. For 1 month, my guru's car is there in my house. My mentor's car is there in my house. But the way in which I take care of the car of my mentor will be definitely better than the way in which I take care of my own car. Before my mentor's arrival, I will clean that car and I will see how to make the car more perfect. I will spend something for that car and I will submit that car to my guru. In the same way, to Rama, Dasharatha's pratigya is more important, in fact. For 3 or 4 reasons, Niyuktaha Guruna, Rama says, first reason, Rama says that Dasharatha is his mentor, Guruna. Next only Pitra, my father. Third reason Rama is bringing is a beautiful reason. Nripena Dasharatha is a king. It's a very new idea. Nobody must have seen this. I'm a citizen, and Dasarata is king, and he is an ideal king. I need to keep the pratigya of my king. This is patriotism. This is Deshabhakti dimension of Rama. Very rare. In Ramayana time, the idea of Deshabhakti. Okay. Nripena. Why Bhishma is with Dhritarashtra on those days? Why Bhishma was with Dhritarashtra? Because Dhritarashtra is a king. King of what? King of the state, king of Kuru Desha. I should be with my king. As a warrior, I should be with my king. Why? That is a patriotism on old days, good old days. That was considered to be patriotism. So Bhishma was there. And Panchara Desha is a rivalry Desha for this Kuru Desha. He doesn't see this war as the war between Pandavas and Kurus, Kauravas. He sees this war as a war between Panchalas and Kurus. Panchala Desha and Kuru Desha. Panchala is something like a rivalry country for me. And I should stand for my country, that is Kuru Desha, and my king Dhritarashtra. With this attitude only, Bhishma couldn't support Pandavas, poor Pandavas. Okay, leave it. That's a different case, different topic. It has to be differently analyzed. That also has to be seen whether it is fitting to this Dharma model, Atta, Abhyudaya, Nishayasa model. Let us come to this Rama thing, what Rama did. Was Rama right in going to the forest? He knows the troubles that would be created. Mother would suffer, Bharata would suffer, people would suffer. Yet, we all should bravely face this problem to establish the model, the truth. King of our country should not become a liar. I'm a citizen. I should see in such a way that the king of the country should not become a liar. In USA, a very famous president, I think his name is Clinton, he committed a mistake for which he was brought into the court. People were ready to forgive him, even for the mistake he committed. They did not take that mistake seriously. But people became very tensed. Americans, I'm talking about, not about the world. World was busy with the mistake which he committed. But Americans were more tensed for his mistake of lying in the court. After committing the mistake, in the court he said, I did not commit that mistake. For which people became tensed. President of our nation should not lie in the court. This very great and ideal expectation of the people. Up to our times, we see this. That too in USA. Ramayana is an Indian story. Rama takes utmost care that the Kosala kingdom's king should not lie, should not become a liar. Because people have to follow him. He is an icon, he is a role model. People need to follow him. If they see king as a liar, they will start to lie. Lying for fun is different. Lying in kavya is different. But this pratigya is not a fun or a kavya. But pratigya is a vishayam of court. Pratigya is a vishayam of business. If these two things get corrupted, the whole society will fall. Let us be clean in court. Let us be clean in business. For which let me set the role model. Let me set the role model. Yad vritta santi rajanaha tad vritta santi hi prajaha, Rama says here. பின்னாடி மகாபாரத இதே ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் இன்னும் சூத்திரமா ஷார்ட்டா ஸ்வீட்டா யதா ராஜா ததா பிரஜா முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. Yad vritta santi rajanaha tad vritta santi hi prajaha is Rama's statement. Therefore, may not give up truth. This idea. To Rama, this truth became the greatest value, greater than mother obeying the mother, greater than immediate joy of people. Okay, this truth is the greatest value for Rama. Satyat nasti param padam. Nothing is greater than Satyam. This idea is brought away Ramachandra here beautifully. Satyameva Ishwaraha Loki. We are telling that Rama is God. But Rama says that Satyam is God. Satyameva Ishwaraha Loke. Satyam Padma Sutasada. Lakshmi resides always in Satyam. Satyamulani Sarvani. All punyas get fruitful only if one is in Satyam. Satyamulani Sarvani. Nothing is greater than Satyam. Satyat nasti param padam. That's a very interesting thing. Padam, he says. In Padam, by Padam, he makes Satyam as a goal, not as a mean. India is great because Dharma is made as a Purushartha. Dharma is made as a goal in India. In all religious scriptures, you can see Dharma. In Bible, in Quran, you can see human values wonderfully explained. Here, in Sanatana Dharma, in our scriptures, Dharma is made as a goal in life. That is what we see with Ramachandra also, Satya Nasti Param Padam. Rama is very perfect, very clear, and very clean. Ni manasu, ni dinusu, ni sogusu, vere, Tyagaraja Swami. Rama says, enna alagavadi. Dharmartha kama kila tata loke samikshita dharma parodayeshu. You need not to take much effort. Don't fix your ultimate goal as wealth or desire fulfillment. Artha and kama. Don't fix your ultimate goal as artha and kama. You make one goal, ultimate goal, that is dharma. And walk towards that like an elephant. Elephant has an ultimate goal of that mountain. And it starts to walk. It doesn't bother in between tree comes or fence comes. The elephant just walks. While walking, trees will get broken. The elephant is not breaking the tree to walk. Elephant just marches towards that mountain. On the way, trees naturally get broken. Elephant tramples and goes. In the same way, if Dharma is the ultimate goal, walk towards that Dharma. While walking towards that Dharma, Artha and Kama automatically get fit. That's a, if you have Artha or Kama as ultimate goal, Dharma may not come. If Dharma is made ultimate goal, naturally, automatically Artha and Kama, they are the place. Okay. They get fit. This is what Rama says to Lakshmana. Therefore, don't make Artha the ultimate goal of life, O Lakshmana. Because Lakshmana suggests, why can't we imprison the father and make you king? For which Rama responds. Okay. Artha and Kama cannot be the ultimate goal of the life. If you make Dharma as ultimate goal, then Artha and Kama naturally get fit. To do Dharma, we will yearn. Then Artha comes there. Okay. And to do Dharma, we will have Kama also. Grihasthasrama, take for example, is the ashrama for Dharma. Sannyasasrama is for moksha. That's a different thing. I'm talking about Bahujana Dharma. Grihasthasrama. Okay. Kama naturally comes while one fixes his mind towards them. All these things happen. So Dharma has to be our ultimate goal. And here you see If Rama immediately takes the Rajyam, instant happiness will come to the people, instant happiness will come to the mother Kausalya, Bharata, so on and so forth. But later, people will get corrupted on seeing Rama gave up the truth and became king. The same way, let us also be happy without the truth. That idea will come which can corrupt the society. Therefore, this path of Rama would have become Atru paths. Rama gave up the kingdom for the sake of truth, even though he faces trouble in the beginning. Later, he established Ramarajya. For a long time, people all were happy. And this is the Abhyudaya aspect of Rama. So I think that I have answered this question during this session. Today's topic is not covered. That is Panchamaha Yajna. So in next session, we will have one more session in which we will have this Yajna concept. With that, we will conclude this what is Dharma sessions. Dhanyavadaha.